Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
Do you want me to do a roll call?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Good evening, everyone. I'm Elaine Denton. I'm the chair of the Planning and Economic Development Committee, and I call to order this public hearing on shaping the future of economic development on schools and communities at 4:34 on May 27th. Thank you so much to North Syracuse Central School District for hosting us tonight. And so before we do begin, I wanted to just give a brief overview of some economic development tools that we do use at the county level, which OSIDA and other local development corporations, or LDCs, administer for the county. Can everyone hear me okay? Okay. These entities have their own boards and that the county executive and the county legislature appoint members to. Some of these examples of these incentives include sales tax and mortgage, recording tax exemptions, tax-exempted bonds or low-interest bonds, and payment in lieu of taxes agreements known as pilots. Developers can apply for these incentives, and decisions are made on a case-by-case basis. If a pilot agreement is agreed to, tax payments are usually lower than standard property taxes for a period of time, which provides a schedule of payments and usually provides more revenue than if the project did not move forward. So we're here today as we want to hear from the public and from schools and municipalities on the future of economic development in Onondaga County. New development opportunities are here, and they will be happening with us or without us. So this is a way to check in with the community on what's working, what can be improved, what impacts are being seen, and ideas for the future. So we'll open it up for any public comments to be shared, and after the public hearing, the Planning and Economic Development Committee will have a discussion with school and municipal leaders to learn more and have a real conversation. So with that, do we have anyone here to give a public comment on this topic?
Let's first call the roll.
Oh, I totally forgot to call. Okay, first, can we call the roll?
Legislator Denton.
Here.
Legislator Knapp.
Here.
Legislator Erickson is absent. Legislator Meeker.
Here.
Legislator Brown.
Here.
4 present, 1 absent.
Okay, thank you. Oh, and I guess
Do you want to read the text?
do this one?
Yeah.
Okay. In accordance with Resolution 55-2026, which has authorized me in my authority as chair of the Planning and Economic Development Committee, this public hearing regarding shaping the future of economic development on schools and committees is called to order. Do I want me to do the time again?
That's all right.
Okay. Was the notice duly published?
The notice of the public hearing was duly published.
Great. Okay, so now we'll call up speakers with an hour allotted for public comment. No more than 5 minutes per speaker. Did anyone sign up to speak?
There was nothing.
Oh, there was no sign.
There was
Ah.
no sign. It was
That's all right.
It's all right.
That's all right.
Go with the flow.
Could we
Go with
start? Is that all right?
Well, they're going to do a presentation.
Just
Whatever you like to do.
I have a quick question.
Yes,
for
go
you,
ahead.
Alvin. Typically, our meetings are streamed live on YouTube. I noticed that, is that not being done?
So we're not, we don't have video tonight, but we do have sound recording.
So will that be on,
Yeah.
on the YouTube channel?
It can be provided.
Thank you very much.
The audio.
The audio,
Yeah.
okay, thank you.
Yep. Okay, so any speakers?
I was going to say something about OSIDA specifically.
So right now, it's a public comment right now, so you can give a public comment, and so if you would like to just come up here and you can state your name, if you are representing anyone, or just kind of where you're from.
I'm from Liverpool, New York. My name is Mitchell Adam. Okay. I just want to say I'm in favor of OSIDA and the economic development that they stand for right now. I mean, we were talking earlier about all the construction projects in the area, and OSIDA is one of the few boards that actually holds the local labor policy. They actually enforce it, one of the few in the area. And if you don't believe that, go to their projects and you'll see that it's all local labor there. But you can easily drive around the county in city and see the projects that are not getting the incentives because of all the out-of-state license plates. So I'm definitely in favor of this, and I think they are living up to their mission, and I appreciate all the board members that are here today.
Thank you. Would anyone else like to give a public comment? Okay. You can stand up here if you would like.
I just didn't know how much this. Okay. So thank you, and my name is Indu Gupta, and I'm a physician, former health commissioner, and a longtime resident of town of DeWitt, and a town councillor, so I belong to a municipality. I think some of the question when I got the email is that the question came, how do economic development decisions by the county impact our schools, our neighborhoods, and local quality of life, right? That's what, and the short answer is a lot. And the next follow-up thing was what are our expectation, hopes, concerns, and ideas related to pilot agreements, future development project, and their impact on our schools and municipality. This is a bit complicated and needs attention to the full detail when the I's are dotted and T's are crossed to make sure we have the right balance between all the stakeholders, whether it's a developer, whether it's a county, municipality, and community at large. So I had to do a lot of reading and understand what you were asking. So thank you for that. Economic development like tools like pilot, which is payment in lieu of taxes, agreements are designed to be the economic engines to jumpstart and attract new businesses in the community in a high-tax New York State, which is the only way we can actually incentivize them, right? So when implemented and monitored well, they can truly transform a community. That is the whole intent. So my commitment to bringing new businesses in community and supporting existing ones is deeply personal. In 1990s, as a young physician, it was gut-wrenching to see when my patients lost jobs and they couldn't afford health care because there was no job, there was no food at the table. So, from thriving community, their life got upside down, and because a lot of companies from here in the Onondaga County, Syracuse, moved to lower tax states or overseas for the cheap labor. That's the story of our life. So in medicine, we often talk about lifestyle, genes, and diet, but we often leave, everybody knows this word now, social determinants of health, driven by local and state governments, policies, tax, and local incentives. So local programs, like under the OSIDA, creates to jumpstart economic growth, and they're a real driving force and impact our residents' life every single day. That is a fact. So I consider myself a pro-growth, but I also am pro-environment and pro-community. We don't need to choose. Could be all three of them, essentially. So from my point of view, the way I see in Onondaga County, tax exemption and pilot agreements have been used to spur this growth. I was surprised to see for 56 years. It's a long time. But the companies have changed, and the way their accountability is the main thing which I'm bringing up to that. So we are here at this point when transparency and accountability must be drastically improved. So right now, when I try to look at any of the project, you have to go to the New York State's clunky PARIS, which is like a mouthful, PARIS Public Authority Reporting Information System portal, or New York State Open Data to raw number and audit it. And people don't have expertise in a day-to-day what they have if we have a dashboard, those kind of things. So publicly available data, which I found in New York State Comptroller's website in 2024. Onondaga County had 81 active projects valued $1.7 billion, resulting in total net exemption for the companies of about $3.8 million. This is not a small sum. So the pressing question, which you are asking all of us, me as a taxpayer as well as a town councillor, is did this tax break create enough local jobs, secondary revenue to offset local tax dollars to fund our daily municipal operations, our schools, police, fire departments, roads, and water lines? I mean, I see those budgets now, so you just feel like, how do we find these things? How do we find the balance? So Town of DeWitt we are very fortunate to have a lot of high tech like Saab and Inficon, and then we have TTM, and we want more. Of course, we want all more. We are greedy. We are open for business. And like many neighbors, so one of the biggest one is the Shopping Town Mall, which is going to be the RFP is out and we are waiting for that. And I appreciated when the county executive came and did a great town hall. People actually were very open. He answered the questions. And we would like the same transparency. So one of the biggest asks is that we need to have the same transparency when the OSIDA or any other things are considered, whether it's a tax incentives and the pilot agreements with the county, that we need to find a balance so you have the businesses grow at the same time the community can thrive. That's my biggest ask is when I am looking for, because we have to, increase traffics and added restraints on roads and police and fire. I mean, I don't have to teach you that. You already know that, how it works. And now I'm seeing as a town councilor those things because budgets had started to get a little constrained. So my ask is explicitly of the OSIDA, county legislature, you all in county executive is, moving forward, please adopt a framework of a very strict local transparency, accountability, and reporting. The one from inception to completion transparency, that will be a ask. OSIDA can consider tracking projects in their website. That would be a nice thing to do, so that somebody like a common person, can go and see that how it's happening. When you look at the state data, everything is compiled together in Onondaga County. I mean, I have bunch of things, I printed it out, everything lump sum. So you're talking so many millions of dollars project. And as I said, 1.7 billion, they're all lump sum. So some are large, some are small. We don't know who is doing what. Number two, explicit protection against cost shifting. So we want, of course, companies to grow, but not at the expense of the homeowners who are being sometimes priced out of their homes because of the increasing, we say your property taxes are increased, your home value is increased, but if people can afford, what's the point? Then number three, active enforcement of clawback. I don't know whether the county does it or state does it. I don't know about that, so I'm just kind of bringing it back. And number four is robust public education, which is very important. Hearings, people don't understand the public hearing. That's what I have noted. I have very highly educated people. I have all sorts of friends. They kind of don't understand a lot of time public, And number three, open and continuous communication with the town boards, with the villages, with everywhere which we can, so we can do it together. That will be my ask. So I thank you and implore you all to capture this golden opportunity for us to grow together and have a healthy and prosperous Onondaga County and town of DeWitt. So
Thank you.
Is that all right for you?
Oops. I think we're gonna do that once we start the special meeting, if that's okay.
Okay, sure.
Just making sure we don't have any more public comments before we start. Come on up, sir, if you would like.
Hi, I'm Ed Schmidt. I'm town councilor for town of Lysander. I don't know if you're aware, but town of Lysander has been abuzz with a potential data center coming into town lately, and I get emails on this, daily. I think I got 10 today. I've gotten hundreds of emails on this, and what I'm hearing from the residents of Lysander is, if you're going to do incentives and things for businesses, it really has to be for businesses that are going to add a bunch of jobs. They don't see data centers as something that's going to add a bunch of jobs. And there's a very large concern in the community that things are being done in the background and in private and not visible to the community. And they're afraid they're going to wake up one day and find some done deal. So as we go forward with these kinds of efforts, it's very important that you include the town. Maybe come to a town meeting and let hear what the townspeople are saying, things like that. And then just make sure we're in sync so that people understand what's being offered. We get a good balance of what's best for the community as well as what's best for development and growth. And that was it.
Thank you. There's two people. Yeah, maybe we should form a line. We don't have a list.
Hi, I'm Kevin Schwab. I'm Senior Vice President of Strategy, Policy, and Planning at Center State CEO, or Regional Economic Development Organization. And I want to begin by thanking you all for hosting this hearing, and then I want to immediately complain that the topic is broad and a little disjointed, and therefore you get comments from me that are 3 pages. So I blame you for how long this is. Look, I'm pleased to stand here and say that Syracuse and Onondaga County right now have the strongest economy of anywhere in New York. Let that sink in for a minute. For much of last year, job growth in the Syracuse metro was among the top 10 of all medium and large sized metros in the country. When's the last time we were able to say that? It's not an accident. Didn't just happen. This is the result of folks working together, building strategies, identifying our strengths, tying those strengths to emerging opportunities, and then working together to act on them. And all of this was in a very concerted effort to make Onondaga County competitive nationally and globally. And it's working. Semiconductors, drones, autonomous systems, logistics, radars. You've heard about some of the companies in this space already. While we're here, I can keep going on. Aerospace, defense. We are adding jobs at a clip that we have not seen here in generations. I say this as something to be proud of and as a caution as we're considering what kind of changes we want to make. Okay, we want to be in a position where we can continue to move together and build, right? Not where we are in any way creating new points of friction, and I promise I'll only use that word one more time before I'm done. In all of this, by the way, schools have been an incredibly important partner, and we've seen an increased emphasis on modernization of our career and technical education programming. That's across school districts, whether it's BOCES, whether it's PTEP programming, and more modern curricula to meet what we see as the emerging needs. Businesses, large and small, have actually been partners in making these changes with our school districts and providing resources. Beyond just seeing where the demand is growing most, we have a growing list of companies that are doing job shadow and internship and working together with our economic development community, our local governments, and our school systems to make these changes and tie all of this into the benefit of our kids and our future as a region. And also, in some cases, they're backing it up and putting their money where their mouth is. We've got more than 30 partners to the STEAM school, by the way, in Syracuse that are corporate partners who have put money into that school. Most notably, Micron and Amazon, who we attracted to this community with some of the very tools that we've already discussed in this meeting. And our schools benefit in their revenue streams as well. Members of OSIDA signed off on the agreement that brought Amazon to Onondaga County. And that agreement took a sleepy golf course, which would have paid $815,000 over the course of a 15-year period. And over that same period, Amazon is now going to pay more than $28 million that go into local government coffers, more than 70% of that going to the Liverpool School District. That's more than $1 million a year they wouldn't have had.
That doesn't do anything.
That's not true.
That's not true. It doesn't do anything.
It is a
During a public-
significant amount of money that wouldn't have
Doesn't
been
do
there.
anything.
You would
allowed to give us comments.
That's right.
more than 4,400 jobs with wages that begin the lowest paid people there are being paid more than $20 an hour, raising the bottom of our pay scale community-wide, including hundreds of people who work there who have access to tuition benefits where it's not a reimbursement. They show their ID. They literally get 2 years of OCC. So these are all benefits that are accruing. If you look more recently at what OSIDA just approved out in Manly's Twin Ponds project, we know the demand for housing, right? That's going to be a net positive to the FM school district. We have an independent study that shows that. We've been able to chart out exactly what the revenues are going to be. That school district will be more than $100,000 to the good every year during the period of the incentives. So when you look at all that, and of course there are more examples, but I'd like to create a different picture just for a moment anyway. You've seen the school districts here close and merge with other school districts now for generations. When's the last time a school district here built a new school from the ground up?
Thank you.
Anybody?
So if you could wrap up your
Yeah,
comments.
I'll wrap up in just a moment.
Thank you.
I promise you. When's the last time we built a new school here? I grew up in Northern Virginia. My high school was built in 1970. It's been torn down and rebuilt twice to accommodate real growth. That's what we want, okay? And we want to make sure that we are making this as seamless, as frictionless, I said only one more time, and as welcoming as possible as a community. And all of the changes that we consider need to keep that in mind, because growth is going to be the key for the success of our school districts, for the success of our kids.
Thank you so much. And if you have written comments, we will accept those for the
Yeah, I
record.
stuck to half of them.
It makes our clerk job a little easier.
All right, thanks.
Okay. Ma'am. And then, if you want to be on deck.
Thank you. Hi, I'm Suzanne Slack. I am the business official for OCM BOCES. So my comments will be brief and relative to school districts in general, but in particular the 23 that we serve in Onondaga County, Madison County. First of all, I would like to say thank you for economic development, because we do genuinely appreciate it. And some of the comments earlier, I applaud those because we are ahead of the curve in terms of that. Unfortunately, there are unintended consequences of these pilot agreements. And what probably most people in the room, maybe I can think of 4 of you, understand school finance. Most people don't understand is when you have a pilot agreement, it has an inverse relationship on the tax cap that a school district can levy. So there is legislation that's in place. It's a requirement that school districts go through this tax cap calculation. And I'm sure all of you voted on your local school budgets recently. As part of that, they will come out and say, our tax cap is 1.54% or 3.8%. That is a formula, it's a calculation that takes pilots into account. For every dollar that a pilot goes up, their tax levy goes down. It's a complete inverse relationship. And nobody really appreciates that until it happens to them. So like doing your personal finance, when you're the business official dealing with that, you realize intimately the financial impact. So my ask is that OSIDA, and tonight I think is a great first step, always have a school at the table, always ask for perspective. Call your friends and neighbors. I'm sure everybody here knows someone in a school district, to get in touch with a business official, just to make sure you fully understand the implications. And if there's other things that you could do that would be helpful, that would be appreciated. Liverpool's represented in the room tonight. I know when Amazon came on board, their budget took a huge hit that year. This year, North Syracuse, the same thing. I appreciate you folks hosting us here and beating the drums for the last 6 months on making sure everybody understands just how important this is. So again, appreciate the efforts. I really appreciate you coming out here tonight, and hopefully that will be helpful going down the road.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yep. Right after. Oh, you would.
Hello, everybody. Josh Levin, I'm here as a member of the North Syracuse Central School District Board of Education. I will be very brief. I just would like to echo the comments that were just made, that having somebody at the table from school districts would make a huge difference, especially when we're trying to figure out our financial situation here. We just had a pilot agreement that's going to be for 40 years without a representative from North Syracuse, the only district in which was going to, that pilot agreement was negotiated entirely within our district here. So my hope is that moving forward, we'll be able to have representation there. I know you all have a lot of hard work to be doing, and there's a lot of pieces that have to be put together, but it has huge impacts for a long time on our finances and when we're trying to make budgets. And I know it's only one piece of the puzzle for you all, but it's an important one for us. So thank you.
Thank you.
Good afternoon. I'm Donna Desiato, and I'm the superintendent of the Syracuse Manoa Central School District. I'm also the president of the New York State Council of School Superintendents, representing 740 plus school districts in New York State. So we have a vested interest in everything that happens in New York State, in particularly in preparing our youth for their future in hopefully New York State. more importantly, hopefully in Onondaga County. So one, I want to thank you for the role you're in. I actually sat in your seat for about 5 years during from about 2009 to 2014. I was actually chair, so I understand all of the roles that you're in right now and what you're doing. And it was in those years that I was actually asked to serve because OSIDA had a desire to better understand relationships with school districts. I'd like to think that we made a difference. But I think that, as always, seats change. Seats change in OSIDA, seats change in various aspects of the county, and seats change in superintendents. So it's probably timely to really think about forming perhaps a subcommittee and to be able to better study or to be able to do something that would better inform what the various factors might be. Because I don't think that any of this is done with any intent to do anything that's negative, quite honestly. Suzanne just spoke to the tax cap. There is someone in Albany who decided that there would be a tax cap formula and somehow the pilot would go into the tax cap formula. What it says to a school district is, excuse me, but we already gave a pilot, which is absolutely understandable if we're going to attract business to our state and to our county. And then you're going to put that same pilot in our tax cap formula. And any elected official I've talked to so far has somewhat understood that that may be a little bit of a double whammy to a school district, because it just doesn't seem to be a logical part of the formula to us. Now, again, to me, it's best if we study those things, because at some point they were created for some purpose. That purpose may no longer be serving the well-being of New York State, because we were in a position in which there was declining numbers in all aspects, all ages. We're now on the fringe, on the opportunity of increasing. So we have to be our best at everything we do, including education. So I'm not going to suggest that I could figure this out tomorrow. I don't think that that is fair to anyone. What I am going to suggest, though, is that we really make every effort to study it, to make it better. Because I think making it better for everyone involved, and in the same time that we make it better, that we educate everyone as to understanding why pilots exist, because sitting in your seat, I do understand why. I do understand what those factors are. Not everyone understands that or how they come to be, and that we need to help everyone to better understand it. But then we need to make it the best it can be so that they're not winners and losers. There are not some who gain and others who lose, and I know you understand that. So thanks for what you're doing. I think the first part is listening, and the next part is what action can we take that will make it better. So thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else would like to make public comment?
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is David Shaw. I am a Liverpool resident, and I am also the business administrator at the Wingcourt School. I just want to offer a test case in the Wingcourt School District. We are on the back end of an expiring pilot next year. This pilot has been around for about 20 years. It was extended once in the middle, but I've been informed by OSIDA that it is not going to be extended further because there's no new development, and that seems right and fair to me. As everyone has mentioned already in the school end, anytime there is a drastic change, either the starting of a pilot or the ending of a pilot, it causes a drastic shift in school finance. And that's not well understood by most people outside of my business title, frankly. So I echo the sentiments of the earlier speakers of having some support from the school in these discussions, not only for the starting of the pilot, but for the ending as well. Our tax increase at Wingcourt over the past 4 years has been 0%, 0%, 2%, 2.99%. We're very proud of those numbers. Next year, our cap is projected right now at 12%. And that's purely due to the pilot expiring. So if anyone would like to follow us, feel free to reach out to me. I'd be happy to Be that test case, if you'd like to look more, I'm very excited to hear the North Syracuse presentation. Don is certainly an expert in this field beyond even my limited knowledge, but it is a very real impact on taxes for schools, and we do everything we can on our end to head that off. So thank you for all you do. We appreciate it, and thank you for this night. We appreciate you listening. Thank you.
Anyone else would like to give a public comment? Okay. Okay, so thank you everyone for sharing your public comments on economic development and pilot agreements here. This public hearing will remain open until midnight tonight. So anyone who would like to submit your written comments can email legislature at onondaga.gov. And again, if you do have written comments you want to submit, you can submit them to us tonight as well. So with that, yes.
Given that this is not being live streamed, neither the audio or the video, and this is going to be posted later, would it be possible to maybe keep the public hearing open until like close of business on Friday so that people could listen to it and maybe have an idea and want to reply?
Can we just?
It's. I don't know about that. It's pretty long. You'd have to adjourn. You'd have to regavel in and adjourn it again. Because we're technically not adjourning it.
We're not adjourning it, right?
You wouldn't be adjourning it, so we'd have to adjourn it at some point again.
Well, I mean, if we're keeping it open until midnight tonight.
Yeah, because we're not adjourning it then.
You could keep it open and then just adjourn it on Tuesday prior to session.
Oh, perfect.
Okay.
Okay.
Perfect.
So we'll keep it open until
let's do that.
next Tuesday,
Okay.
June 2nd. Is that when it is? Yes.
Yeah.
June 2nd. Do I need to give a time?
12:55.
12:55.
Yeah.
Okay. Do we need to make a motion or is that just announcing?
I'll call it a motion.
Yeah, I would do
Second.
Okay. Okay, Dave Knapp and sorry.
Second.
Well, okay, Legislator Brown. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. So this will be the public hearing will be open longer. So again, if anyone has more comments to share with us, please feel free to send those in. The email again is legislature@onondaga.gov. With that, we will move on to the special meeting. So I'll call that. Let me look at my. Do I need to call that to order, Spencer? I do. All right. All the thing, yeah. Where? Here? Okay.
Will there be an opportunity for Syracuse to speak?
I'm going to get to you next.